Hey, look, you're seeing double. Alright, so this is an update for the Perrin AOS, which you saw in the last vid, that I replaced the fittings, the plastic fittings for jigs and flared fittings. And since then I've changed my oil, and I've noticed that the plenum behind the intake manifold had some oil in there. Just a little bit of oil, not like a huge puddle or anything like that. So if you were to understand Subaru's complex PCV system, alright, so this is like a little jig that I made, or a little example. So in stock for configuration, there's some kind of T just like this. This connecting to a 3/4 inch hose to the crankcase, while you have a turbo inlet, outlet, I guess, going to the turbo inlet, coming from the crankcase like a T, and then there you have your PCV valve, which leads to your intake manifold. So with all that said, under vacuum or idle, where blow-by is less prominent, the crankcase gases will come out of the crankcase and be sucked to the intake manifold in order to evacuate the crankcase gases or pressures in the motor. So this is a one-way check valve, so it'll flow this way, and under boost, this PCV valve or check valve will close, and air will be diverted this way to your turbo inlet. So when you add an AOS, you're going to catch all that oil in there. As you can see, I guess the tap down there from the crankcase is diverted this way. Instead of going straight to the turbo inlet, it goes straight to the Perrin AOS. So it catches all the air in there, and then it coalesces in there. You guys seen how the design is. There's baffles, and it goes in this way. Alright, so under vacuum, it goes this way. Here's a PCV valve now where Perrin relocates it, or at least where I relocated it. And with this Moroso AOS, it catches whatever oil there is going through it. So there's a split right here, right down the middle. There's some mesh on either side, and there's another baffle that runs horizontally like this. Oil will go in here, or the air and oil or gases will go in here, drop, and there's a drain down there, and then the rest of the air is going to be sucked back into the intake manifold. So I did a little catch. I didn't have this before, if you guys know. I used to have just a valve right here, and since the vacuum is greater from the manifold than the turbo inlet on this side, I guess the gases will just follow the path of least resistance and go to whichever way is easiest. But under boost, that will close, and everything else will be diverted this way, or in this sense, I made another vacuum tap right there, which leads to down here and straight back to the original turbo inlet. Near the turbo. So it's kind of like close to stock, and it retains, you know, the PCV. So, and then I've checked it a couple times and it's clear, but the real test would be a few 1,000 miles later on. But so far it's working really well. And as far as the heads, now we know how the crankcase side works. So under vacuum, when this is pulling air, it will draw everything that's in here into the manifold. So that means whatever comes out of here will be sucked in here. All right. So as everything gets sucked in there will be some vacuum in the crankcase, meaning the heads will also pull air from an area with least resistance, which will be the vents. So it'll draw air here. All right, from here and here, from in the can, and go to the heads. And all the fresh air is coming from your turbo inlet, which is coming from your filter from the I guess the box. I'll have a schematic later on displayed after this video, and you guys can see and understand how this works. But yeah, for some of you guys, you'll think, oh, you're wasting your money. You put an AOS in addition to an AOS, but it does the job well. And it has its own drain. It actually taps right into the original one right there. You can see I put a T, and there's another 90-degree bend going into there. Also a -6 AN fitting. Moroso normally comes with a valve just like this. If I can find it. It's like this, like a ball valve that you drain, but I'd rather have it draining all the time. And as far as heat, I mean, it's right here in the air of heat, and it also borrows the heat from the Perrin AOS. So this gets hot, and this all gets hot too, and it just, yeah, they're so close enough, this heats up as well, so you won't get any sludging. I don't know about you guys in you know, places of winter, but here in Hawaii, it's totally fine. I actually pulled that line down there just to see if oil actually goes down there. It does, and I see no sludge or milky residue, so it's working just as fine. And I like how I have this PCV valve right here still accessible. And then we have a -6 B nut right here, and this -8 AN, and it's -6, so it's pretty easy to take out that hose, and then these 3 lines, and it comes right off, and you can just spin it apart and shoot it with air intake cleaner and whatnot to service it. But yeah, that's the update for the Perrin AOS of what I did, and just a better understanding of how the PCV system works in Subaru. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. If you guys want to see more, I have more updates on my car. Sorry I haven't been driving, been pretty busy, working a lot, and I'll be more busy within the next month, so hopefully I have something for you guys. Alright, thanks, later, bye. And I forgot to mention that this won't work with a stock system with the sound generator. So, you know what? I wonder what happened to that thing.